Turns out that women are actually better at investing than men. Eat my Whopper cone, for finance bros. And this is pedestrian.tv, and everyone's posting this. There was a few places that have been spreading this propaganda.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, tell that to anybody who invested in fucking Kathy Wood's funds. You know Kathy Wood? Dude, there was like last year in the height of the fucking bubble, Kathy Wood, her fund was outperforming Berkshire by like, I don't know, 300% or something.
Really?
And everybody was like, Kathy Wood's the next Warren Buffett, but like times like Warren Buffett's a fucking chump loser. Look at how much like she's doing better than Warren Buffett. And then,
Those
like,
Peloton calls not doing well.
No, she had all these things, but then like literally, I think 2 weeks ago, they finally converged and Berkshire's now outperforming, even though she had this huge...
What did the blogs have to say about that?
They were pretty quiet on that one.
They've been quiet?
They go, she's just biding her time.
Yeah,
she'll be back.
Well, this is the problem with their whole argument. So a lot of people are sort of, and they do the same thing in a lot of different areas, but what they've described, when they say men are better, or women are better at investing, what they mean is on average, they lose less money.
Yeah, I mean, again.
So it's the same thing. No, but I was having this argument about like driving, right? It's like, they'll say, oh, girls are better at driving. What they mean is they get less accidents. But it's like, yes, they're better variants, but the best investors in the world.
Who says women are better at driving?
They get in less accidents.
Oh. Okay.
Because they drive less because they have boyfriends that they make drive.
Well, they also but
I was going to say my mother is the worst driver.
No, but really what it is they drive safer and they invest safer.
True. Yeah,
if you boil down this article.
My mom is that's the thing. She's the worst driver because she's like, just like agonizingly safe.
But that's what they do with investing. Like most girls put their money in the S&P 500, whereas men like me we dare to beat the S&P 500 and end up losing.
Dare to dream with our SPACs that we don't know what they do.
This is the thing. Girls do not have the guts and the tenacity to constantly lose money on risky bets that you don't even know the companies do.
Oh, you don't want to buy a little cum rocket for your 401k?
That's the thing. Yes.
You don't want to be rich.
Oh, you go, I was able to buy the S&P 500 and I performed. Yes, but there was no chance that but you could put this to anything in life where you go, yes, that men join, they take riskier lives and start companies more. It's like the whole article is just men are riskier.
Yeah, so, which is like obvious.
So you go, more percentage of men have been turned into billionaires from investing. Mm-hmm. So, and more women have, less women have lost their entire fortune.
Yes.
Well, more men are CEOs, but also significantly more men are homeless. It's the same fucking thing. Right? Like that's actually true.
Because those homeless guys took that big fucking swing to be a CEO, missed, and now they're homeless. But they tried to be this. It's not like they never tried. It's just they took such a risk.
Remember Juicero? That guy's homeless now. You don't remember that? It was a crowdfunding thing where they raised tons of money.
And it was like a total...
But it just squeezed juice out of bags.
I know.
It was like $500.
Yeah, I remember that. That guy was basically like the Elizabeth Holmes of like the juice world.
So their whole argument is that, because really investing is all about finding your risk tolerance. Mm-hmm. And my risk tolerance is fairly high, period.
Yeah.
So if you get a girl and she goes, you should just invest in this, I go, yeah, if I was a bitch, I wouldn't be aiming for the moon. They don't know what it's like to be a moon boy.
No, they don't know what it's like to be moon boys. But yes, for sure, the risk tolerance, and they're just not interested in
not to say it's better or worse, but they're putting a value judgment. It's the equivalent of saying, women are the best at rock climbing. You go, why? They die less. You go, well, that also makes them the worst.
Yeah.
You're like, the best.
It's like the same with race car driving. It's like,
the best people are more likely to die.
Yeah.
So if you said, they have more deaths. So if you say that women, have big losses less, it's like, well, that's directly correlated to taking less risk.
Of course.
Whereas guys like me and Danny,
not like Kathy. I will say though, Kathy Wood does not fall into that not taking risks.
Well, that's not everyone.
No, I know, but she's the most famous female investor.
But I'm saying on average.
Yeah, on average, of course. But I'm just saying Kathy Wood's taking some big swings and she's getting smoked. So
imagine Kathy Wood takes her huge fund and she's got like a $5 billion she's investing or whatever it is. And she just sends a newsletter out being like, we're all in the S&P 500. We're straight in.
Well, that's the funny thing is there's so many like giant, when Facebook like imploded last week or whatever, dropped like 25%. There's like all the biggest funds basically are all just like super overweight Facebook. And you're just like, what do you guys even do? You're just like, You get paid all this fucking money to just like buy Facebook, and now it's just like imploded, and now you'll like never outperform shit because of it, because you're like so far behind the ball now.
That's crazy if you give someone 5% of your money to go buy
Dude, they did something, Facebook fucking like all the top analysts, like the 50 top analysts on Wall Street for Facebook, like 48 of them had like strong buys on Facebook.
Didn't their earnings just turn because Apple has stronger security now?
It was it was a number.
Now their whole metaverse thing is fucking stupid.
They basically blew up 10 billion on metaverse, and then but the main thing is
no one's
Apple
doing that.
did. You know the thing where Apple now says I'll ask not to track, and because of that, it's harder.
That was a big part of it too.
That's the main thing, because it's harder to measure fucking.
Didn't it kneecap their revenue, right?
That's sort of temporary.
Yeah. It's just it's harder for them to track. They'll be fine.
Well, they say at last, according to various studies, our much maligned crypto bro pals may not be the cream of the crop when it comes to investing. Instead, research has shown that women are actually heaps better at investing than men.
In crypto?
Well, they don't realize that my goal was to lose as much money as I can this year. Women tend to be more calculated in their risk, they said, and whereas men are not risk averse the same way that women are. And they said overall, generally, they show more patience in the space, whereas men don't, have the patience to just never look at it ever again.
We've used it all up dealing with women.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not patience. It's you're trying to fucking hit a grand slam.
Yeah.
If you want to hit a fucking... Me and Danny are taking big risks.
Yeah.
I'm taking even bigger risks by taking this advice on Danny's word. When he has this bad track record of giving me advice.
I've also been in that boat.
You were there too. And Danny was giving me advice today. And in my mind, I was like, well, yeah, 8 times the charm.
What advice did I give you today?
He said buy Facebook.
Oh, I mean, whatever.
There it is.
I think it's a pretty safe bet by Facebook. I don't think that's a crazy.
After he was talking shit about those hedge funds, he's telling me to do the same thing.
Well, I didn't buy Facebook before that.
It's down.
I bought it since.
What do you do here?
What do you do here?
How could they possibly think metaverse was a good idea?
I mean, all they have to really figure out. I have an Oculus, and the main thing they have to figure out is because
how does anyone want to use this?
Dude, it's super cool. There's some of the games I'm like, it's by far the coolest thing I own. But the problem is that like a lot of the cool things, I play them for 4 seconds and then I want to vomit. Yeah. Like they give you motion.
Why?
sickness.
Because you go to the gay bathhouse in the room every second room.
They bag you out, meta.
No, it's because I think
you get groped. Someone gropes.
Apparently, the issue is that it's the resolution's like 2K and it needs to be like or 4K, but it needs to be like 16K to smooth it out so that you don't it's not jumpy. Dude, there's some really fucking cool games where you're like flying around, but it's like these jumps and you're like give you instant motion sickness. It's like bad.
Well, they said, my take is that women are, contrary to mainstream thinkers, actually, this is the best part. So this is what their reasoning is for why women are better at investing.
You don't say. Contrarian thinkers.
No, it's worse than that. My take is that women are, contrary to mainstream thinking, less emotional traders. So it's because women are less emotional. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to know that there's one thing they're less emotional at.
They said that the reason they're better at trading is because they're less emotional. So that's their take on this whole thing. And that women are more likely to set up a solid investment plan and have clear goals in mind and allow them to roll with the hiccups than to panic like men. Well, it's just they're less active in investing. Yeah, there's words for these things.
Yeah, they just don't care about it. They just
and also this is another thing that they don't factor in. And yeah, I do know girls that are probably better, but there is one of the big reasons that you have girls are better too is there's a crazy smaller percentage of girls that are into this. So mostly the girls that are into investing are like smart girls that have good careers and make good money. Whereas there's no female JJ our body who's just like a retard that's his whole life investing.
It's a moon boy shit.
So there isn't as much morons that decided to invest all their money into.
By the way, JJ gave. I had thought about this months ago, but I never really said it out loud, but in my mind I go like, when JJ capitulates in crypto, that is going to be the greatest buy signal ever.
When he's rocking?
No, when JJ was like, I'm out.
Oh,
like,
when he
I can't take any
out.
more pain. And then literally 2 Fridays ago, like almost when Bitcoin bottomed, JJ's like, I'm out. I'm out of everything. And
why wouldn't you just go long at that point?
I did.
Earn new money.
What?
Yeah, just like earn more money. Like just keep.
Well, no, because he was like he was.
No, because he's basically saying that
he's
this
been
guy's
riding the fucking waves.
He
right?
says this about everyone, by the way.
No. I'm telling you, I told JJ I was in a chat, and JJ goes, "I'm out right now. I'm too scared, like that we're gonna go lower." And I honestly said to him right now, I go, "This is honestly probably." It wasn't honestly the greatest buy signal. I went and fucking bought a lot of crypto. That moment that like JJ literally, I was like, okay, this is a buy signal, and like it's been ripping.
Now, how many hours after you told me to short crypto was this?
When did I tell you?
That's what he does.
We were at the stand.
No,
that's what he does.
That was
well, this is what Danny does because he goes.
It's a fucking.
He goes.
Evolving
He listens to JJ and then he goes, okay, it's time to buy, and then he messages everyone he knows and he goes, sell time, boys.
I need some of that exit liquidity,
fellas. Thank you for watching that exclusive Boyscast clip and supporting the channel. If you want to support the podcast, we have a new episode every week at patreon.com/theboyscast. Only $5, and there's a tons of episodes up there right now. So support the cast. Support the boys.
Link right there.
Peace.